I think what I'm trying to get to the bottom of is like, how do normal people do seemingly superhuman things?
Damien en Bernard van Durme
Atlantische Oceaan oversteken. Een jaar lang werd keihard gewerkt om de ultieme oceaanroei.
65 nautical miles away from destination.
Good morning! Today we're talking to two brothers that have done something completely amazing. The thing is, one of them really likes cuperdon, which is like a Brussels candy in the shape of a cone that's purple. And to make them happy, we better go find some. Let's go! Welcome to Brussels. Here's a shop. I got the cuperdon. And it's the cuperdon from Ghent. They're actually from Ghent. Isn't that a great coincidence? If you've never tried them, you should try them. They're actually a delicacy. Let's go! Hi guys, I missed you. I know I haven't been online much. We're all good. Max is good. He's not here today, but he's studying hard. And today we're gonna do something completely different, but super special, and I can't wait. We're actually gonna go meet up with two brothers that rowed across the Atlantic Ocean. Again, rowed across the Atlantic Ocean, which I think is completely crazy and absurd. And I have so many questions as to why, how they prepared, where did they go mentally, what was it like after. So yeah, it's kind of related to sailing, but not quite, but I think it interests me, so I hope it interests you as well. I'm with the bros. We've arrived to destination. We're speaking in English now, but we're gonna go discover the hangar, which in English means... comment tu dis hangar in French?
The warehouse.
The warehouse,
Yeah.
en français?
Hangar.
Un hangar, ok,
Ouais.
Parfait. Ah mais oui, je l'ai dit en français.
Ouais, je pense,
Ok, I'm sorry. Waouh, déjà, c'est trop fou ça.
En fait, c'est un pote à nous qui est dans le déménagement et on peut stocker le bateau en attendant chez lui.
Oh mon
Donc,
Dieu. On a une scène
idée.
d'un film.
Ouais. Film d'horreur, hein.
Oui, c'est ça. Is she a girl or a guy? Female or male energy?
Her name is Brothership,
Yeah, I
so
know.
I guess it's more male than female, but...
Well, first of all, thank you for receiving me. I brought you guys some cuperdon because I saw that you liked them.
Especially.
Okay,
Yes,
really?
yes, yes.
Okay.
He gets emotional. I won't try this time.
You get emotional?
No, thank you.
So that's a Belgian specialty, Ghent specialty.
Yeah.
And in Ghent they call it the neusicus.
The nose.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
a neus is a nose,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
neusicus. So
Okay, so the burning question
Yeah.
is why? What called you to do this?
That's a good question
maybe
because...
to know your limits. To,
Yeah, it's a way to seek your limits. It's also a way to not escape, but to try and be in an environment where you don't have temptation of social media and stuff like that. So for us, it was a real privilege to be able to do that for 40 days. Whereas you see people like running around from meeting to meeting, social stuff to social stuff. And we realized that by entering this race, we would really get to know ourselves, get to know each other better. So yeah, it was like a big undertaking, but for many reasons we started it.
it's not just one motivation specifically. It's a combination of several points that you mentioned.
Yeah, and it's nice seeking discomfort.
Yes.
Like it's proven that for certain people it helps. So
Yeah. Do you feel like your relationship before and after this adventure is different?
A little bit better.
Yeah, but that was...
It's I think if you do hard things together or nice things together, it's like glue. It's it bonds you together, and of course we had good moments, we had very bad moments also, but in the end we went through it, not each on his side, but we did it together, so that's super nice.
Was also one of our requirements, both of us, is to do this, and also we wanted to race, of course, but we knew like, okay, the main focus is to step on land at the end and be still good brothers and happy. So yeah, prior to the start, we went to see psychologists that made both of our personal profiles. Based on that, we made like communication plan. So we had a lot of tools just to avoid any kind of tension in the boat, even though sometimes it just arises because sometimes something unexpected happens. But overall we were really, we had the tools to make it a good experience. Yeah.
We also like discussed, like you mentioned, the psychologist did like a whole screening of Damien and myself, and I was like more like the caring guy, the more
the human guy. I was more the leader, but
more. I mean, you know.
More sensitive.
Yeah, like that. And you were like more the theoretical, practical, guy. So we are very complementary. Yes.
Yeah.
Day 4 on the Atlantic. How are you doing, Damien?
Great. Just started the last 2-hour shift, and then tonight we do the 3 hours. So it means I do 1 hour, and does 1 hour, and then we do 1 hour together. So it means 2 hours of rowing, 1 hour of sleep for each of us. So it's pretty hard, but it's a way to take back the other crews in front of us.
Look at this sunset. How cool is this?
Yeah, no, so to make a decision in the end, it was like more interesting to give you the role as captain.
We had to decide who would be the captain.
Who would be the one to be like, I'm making the final decision. Yeah.
Because if you have 2 captains, you have shit on board.
Doesn't exist.
So how did you prepare psychologically? Like you guys said you saw a psychologist. What did you guys do?
So it's a sports psychologist. So already for, I wouldn't say the normal people, but more like competition driven or result driven. And so I'll just take a paper to show. So for example,
I love this.
Instead of arguing and stuff, like Bernard said, every 2 hours we switched. So we didn't want to lose too much time in arguing and stuff. So
you don't have time actually to argue.
You had one of us on the oars, just rowing for 2 hours, and the other one was in the cabin. So washing himself, eating, and then trying to rest as much as possible. Yeah. And so basically the idea was to circle the emotional state you were in.
No way.
And so the guy in the cabin could just reflect and find up, like came up with an idea how to make it better or how to make the other one better.
Yeah, back to basics. Like
it's really basic.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good. And
it also helps you understand what kind of emotions you're feeling, because sometimes you can feel frustrated, but you don't know which kind of like anger you're feeling.
Definitely.
It can be sadness, tiredness, irritation, like, and there's so many. That's amazing.
And for boys, it's difficult to talk emotions, you know. So,
but you also we have to say I think it's not really applicable in maybe the daily life, but in that kind of environment, you're so tired, you're just exhausted. 24/24.
Needs to be efficient. So.
Can I see?
So
yeah, but it's super basic. Something on the internet just plastified it, but
look.
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
Satisfied.
I was feeling 7 days like this, for example, but I didn't have to circle it down. He saw it, but
were you seasick?
Yeah, definitely. Both of us, but
see it,
a little bit less. But the issue with the seasickness is that we had like food rations, like a lot of dry food, and also some shakes. And the whole idea was to be as lightweight as possible, because we were gone for at least 40 days, we knew that. And for a double, we had to take at least for 70 days of food. And we needed 60 kilocalories per kilogram of body weight each. So it means that we were both around 100 and 115 kilos. Whoa. So it was more than 6,000 kilocalories per day. So we had a whole...
You had to eat or that you burned?
That we had to eat.
What?
Yeah.
In order to stay steady.
Yeah.
No.
And body weight. Yeah.
But you still lost 20 kilos at the end of it or something.
18 and 25.
18.
Yeah, but as
25 kilos.
Yeah, a lot. It's a good diet.
There's an iconic picture of you guys, like the before and after, where you can see that you went through some shit out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's such a good picture. I'll put it in the...
Yeah.
It's so good.
No, definitely.
You can see it in the eyes.
Yeah,
the
you
rest
can
is
see it
like,
in the eyes.
Like this.
Yeah. You've thinned out, it's true, but it's really in the eyes and that look of like, I went through a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it sticks. Do you feel like you still have that with
Been
you?
there, done that.
Yeah.
No, I think it was, pretty much we were just super tired. And also just before the finish line, we were like awake for 20 hours or something. So, Bernard was
of course,
completely
it
exhausted.
marks you. It
Yeah.
marks you forever. But for example, if you go now just to the seashore and you just look at the ocean, it gives you feelings of
Me too.
You want
of
to
going
go back,
back
on it?
or
Yeah. Same. We went through a storm, and like when I look at the sea, I'm like, I know how powerful she is, and how much she can fuck you up. Like it's just like when I see her, there's like calmness, but there's also a lot of strength in her.
Yeah.
You have to respect her.
True.
Yeah.
True. But it's very double because like we arrived here to prepare the boat, and I was like, oh my God, Damien, I'm never embarking on this boat again.
No. So I said you need to be crazy to do it again.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. The aftermath of the whole experience. Which emotions did you use the most?
I think angry, frustrated,
Exhausted.
but also excited.
Sick
and,
also.
But on the ocean, you're also super sensitive. For example, if you see a beautiful sunset, it can make you just cry.
Every
And
emotion is
that's-
amplified. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super crazy. And then you also have the hallucinations when you're very tired, and that's sometimes dangerous. Yeah, that's really dangerous.
Did you have hallucinations?
Bernard had a few. Yeah.
Really?
You also know?
I had hallucinations like with my view. So I was rowing at night. I was imagining like woods and forests, but it was just clouds. Woods like forests.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just an empty space I was rowing in. It was super weird, like in the fields. And Bernard had a moment where he saw or he believed there was an Italian on board. So he asked like, "Where is the Italian?"
But
I was
the
like,
dreams are also special because I don't know how to explain it correctly, but in the daily life we have a lot of triggers. Like we see a car, we hear we hear voices, we see birds. I don't know. We have all kind of triggers, and we get used to it. And then once you go in the ocean, that all disappears, and your brain is like squeezed to just the most basic, fundamental triggers, and that's just the wind, the water, the sound of splashing water to boat, and just everything else is just it doesn't exist. So your brain has to adapt, and that's why I think at night you do like crazy. I had like dreams that we were rowing and we saw trains going vertically through the ocean. It was super strange. Yeah.
You actually like really thought they were there.
Yeah.
Like you actually trains coming out of the ocean.
But when you're dreaming, but when you wake up, you're like, okay, it could be possible, But it's like no. Also, we thought we were a three person on board. So.
Yeah.
With the Italian.
Yeah, with the Italian.
Yeah, the brothership extra member. Like, wait, Damien, where's the Italian?
Yeah, I was like, no. But it's just super weird because when you're sleeping, I had it quite often that you dream that you're rowing, and so at some point you wake up. So what Bernard did was ticking on the hull, like wake up.
It's
10 minutes
it's
before.
carbon fiber, so it
Resonates quite well.
That sound, it's like this.
So you hear it in the cabin, and then he calls like 10 minutes, then you know, okay, in 5 minutes I should be quite ready. And then 5 minutes call again. And I remember waking up and thinking, no, I was rowing, so now it's my turn to sleep. And then you realize that you have to get on the oars again. And so the moments at nights were the toughest ones.
You know the movie Inception?
Yeah.
It was the same.
Yeah,
so you wake
dream.
up in a dream, and you go on another layer in a dream.
Yeah.
And then after 2 or 3 layers, you are in the reality, and then you realize, I'm fucked.
It's a bit scary too when you wake up and you realize you don't know what's reality or not.
You just don't have control on yourself, and that's what's
Can be dangerous as well,
scary.
because we need to be tied up. You know what it is to be tied up on the boat with a lifeline all the times. So that was our lifeline, and we had like a waist belt,
A harness.
a harness,
yeah.
and like a line to clip to fix on the boat. At some point I forgot to clip, and when I woke up 2 hours later, like, Damien, what the hell? What's happening? Keep your focus. So it was a good thing to be together in the boat and not just alone.
Did you guys prepare for sleep deprivation or isolation?
Not
Yeah,
really.
we tried 48 hours as a training.
Yeah.
But honestly, yeah, you just see it in a moment itself.
Yeah.
You can't really prepare to row an
It's
ocean
not the same thing.
in detail. You can't prepare in detail.
No, because there's so many elements you have to take into account, like the seasickness, the food that you have to eat, the fact that the boat's constantly moving when you're sleeping. So, yeah.
I saw that you guys were given a hand orthosis or something.
Yeah.
What's that? To prevent trigger fingers?
Yes. Yeah,
Why? What happens if you have trigger fingers?
Because you're constantly on the oars. So a lot of athletes go to the finish and they are like this with their hands, like Klaus. And the orthosis was actually to put on at rest. So when you're not on the oars, to give permission to your tendons to relax and to stretch a little bit without sleeping like this. Because otherwise your muscles shortens and...
Yeah, you risk tendinitis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
tendons also,
that's
but,
why...
but your forearm muscles can shorten very, very hard.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you had to know this boat by heart, so you guys were super involved in the construction part of it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
How was it building this boat?
It was a very nice experience in that sense that we knew the boat by heart.
It was custom made also. So
yeah.
we knew exactly, okay, we need a long back cabin to sleep in, so we could stretch our legs.
Yeah.
Also stretching our legs on the oars. Few small details that were integrated, like the oars also, you can block them inside the hull.
Yeah.
Very practical.
But in
Why
general...
did you custom make it? Like, did you see other boats and you were like, okay, this we want, this we don't want?
Well, we saw other boats that the race is using. Like there is one main manufacturer of rowing boats, ocean rowing boats, that's called Rannoch. So it's an English company.
Okay.
And I think 90% of the fleet every year is composed of those boats.
That's the race class.
The race class is Rannoch. And then, why we decided to create a known boat with the Belgian boat builder was also for our campaign, because we really believe that it would help us on social media and stuff, and to keep people attracted to the project, show them every step of the way, how the mold was built, duct mold was built, how we connected both, how we finished the inside. So a lot of steps we could really document and show our audience. That was the main reason.
You studied product design,
Yeah.
so Damien was super involved in every step and every detail, and I was more, okay, let's customize this and this and this to get you an easy ergonomic position.
The seats.
Yeah, the seats also for your...
Yeah.
Really?
Tailor-made.
Actually,
Tailor-made? No
It's just
way.
like the two holes. It's
Wait, did you have to sit on the mold and then...
yeah.
if you go biking for 1 hour or 2 hours, you feel it at your
your bum.
your bum.
Yeah.
So here you row 12 hours a day, and it's not an easy ride. It's constantly left to right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for the roll test.
But so our idea was I would say almost professional rowers, is to have the same ergonomics or try to copy the ergonomics of real calm water rowing into ocean rowing. This boat was the fastest one of the whole fleet when there was no downwind. So that's also a difference between race class and open class. In open class, both cabins needs to be at the same height.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So you see the front cabin and back cabin, they are at the same level.
Yeah.
When you look at the Rannoch boats, the front cabin is almost half a meter higher and is way oversized compared to this one, just to catch more wind and have a sailing boat effect.
On the Atlantic, you have les alizés,
Yeah,
the passatwinden.
yeah,
So if you have a big cabin like theirs, you catch wind. But we were super convinced. We are rowers. We rowed a lot. we want to row the Atlantic. Of course, we will have wind, and of course, the wind will help the boat. But we want to be on the other side, and
And feel like you rowed it.
Yeah,
And such
rowing,
kind
not
of
blowing.
boats.
That's what we said.
Rowing, not blowing.
What was?
Like rowing, not
Yeah,
rowing.
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that thing.
Can we go inside and
Yeah, of course.
If you want, I will give you.
I will check if we have like.
This is so cool. I cannot believe you lived in this space for 39 days and 21 hours and 2 minutes.
If you want to get inside, you just need to pull.
Wow, no, this
So
is insane.
does it still smell so bad, or?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Smells a bit like epoxy, no?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, you want to jump in and we can continue up here? 39
À la fin.
Like this.
Yeah, we did. Together we did 1 million. We counted it.
1,500,000 strokes.
Yeah, rowing strokes. Yeah.
One.
Every 20 seconds you do
You
rowing
row.
strokes. Yeah.
Who was where?
It
Whose body am I
depended.
touching?
So actually, in the beginning, we.
Think it's mine.
Okay.
I think yeah. In the beginning, we rowed 2 hours on, 2 hours off, and then halfway out, I think we switched to shifts of 3 hours. So I would row 1 hour, then Bernard 1 hour, and then 1 hour together, just to have like
Extra.
we had 8 times per day. We had a shift of 1 hour altogether, and that meant we had some more speed, and we could surf on the waves and like gain a lot of extra miles. So it was a good change that we
So
did.
the individual speed was like, let's say 3 knots.
Yeah.
Did you have a current pushing you a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Like 2 knots currents?
No, it's
1 knot.
less.
One. We had one.
A little bit less than 1 knot. It was
0.8.
yeah, 0.7.
But when we were 2 on the oars, the speed was exponential. So it was not. Not 3 plus 3 is 6, but it was like maybe 7 or 7.5. And then with the waves, it was like even more. So if we surfed.
Wow.
So it was really interesting.
We just had this extra speed to catch the wave that we didn't have when we were just rowing separately.
So the wave could boost us for 20 meters easily.
Amazing. Yeah, you're surfing it basically. Whoa. Oh, so you're actually facing the back every time?
We go backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
And the camera was just there behind you.
You go backward. Okay, so that I never really thought of.
So when the waves push you, you just let go of the oars. Because as you said, nature's super strong.
Yeah.
You could easily break an oar if you don't let them loose.
This is so high tech, guys. Like, I was looking a bit at the history, and the first guy who crossed the Atlantic Ocean was Frank Samuelson
Yes.
and George Harbaugh in 1896.
Yeah.
And they had a little rowing boat, barge. And the difference between this and the barge that they were on is insane. Like this, you feel like there's shit going down.
Yeah, it was organized, but I think it's just necessary to like increase your chances of achieving your goal. You know, those guys that did it in the 19th century, it's just probably also a little bit of luck that they achieved it. So
Crazy.
a lot of people died trying it, same as Everest. So it's nice that now we can do it in a safe space and safe environments.
How did you cook when it was like?
So we had the jet boil, like the simple camping stove. And what was important is we had food rations, so it was a bag with all the food for one day. So those 6,000 kilocalories, all bundled up in like one pack. And so we had to take one left and one right, just to make sure that the boat was always flat. And sometimes we also had to move stuff around just to make the boat stable again.
What did you eat?
You ate all the good ones, and I ate all the bad ones. You cannot see them.
But
Beef is coming out now.
Let's try this one.
But we had different stuff. So like the dry food bags, like quite good food, I would say. That was the best thing. Like you had spaghetti, chili con carne, and stuff like that. And then we also had like shakes, so just to take an easy taking calories.
So I just prepared a hot meal with a jet bowl, beef stroganoff with rice. So I'm just waiting 2 more minutes till it's completely ready. Look at this. Looks amazing.
So
Even the bananas.
banana chips.
It's almost
It's 5 years old. Don't
it's
try
almost
it.
5 years old though. So
5-year-old banana. Nasty.
they were already dry chips.
Can we
so
try it?
You can
can if you want.
you can try if you want, but
I'm gonna try
you really have
5-year-old
to pull
bananas.
hard. So have food.
If I vomit, it's in the car. Okay.
So yeah, we had a lot of sponsors for all these kinds.
No, it's fine. It smells like cardboard.
You're sure, eh?
It's still crispy.
Yeah.
It's good.
I wouldn't sprinkle it on my granola in the morning, but it's
Give it back to the ocean.
It's energy, right?
good.
And so we had like beef jerky, figs,
Energy
shakes.
cells. And that's, now we are talking about food. When people ask us, okay, when you're out there, what are you talking about? Well, I think 90% of the conversations were food.
Like dreaming
Food.
about
Yeah.
what you
Food.
were gonna eat.
Fresh
Yeah,
food.
But even
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
day 1 or 2, it was like, oh, imagine a good piece of meat with French fries. Oh.
A bon
And-
steak. Steak frites. So what was your first meal when you got back?
Hamburger.
Yeah, with
The
that was at
Finnish,
5:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. So
That's
we had
also nice with the organization.
Yeah.
They call you 2 days before arrival, I think, and they say, "Okay, guys, what do you want for dinner or as breakfast, depending on when you arrive." So we were like, "Yeah, we'll arrive around 5 in the morning, so we would like to have a big hamburger."
Yeah, after 20 hours of not sleeping.
And he was like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's like when you crave for food after going out, you know?
Yeah.
When you were probably partying at, Durme pita, something like that.
So what was like the day in the life? Like, how did you entertain yourself beyond talking about food?
What was entertaining was nature, but also what we received as information. So we had a satellite internet connection
Okay.
in Marset. And twice a day we received weather advice from our weather router that would say like, okay, I would direct the boat to this waypoint because in 2 days, 3 days, it will be favorable winds, less waves. So that was the information we got that got us excited and got us to work on the plotter and change courses and discuss like how we were in the ranking. So this kept us quite busy.
Yeah.
And then we had also a few moments during the day where we would really take our time to like clean the solar panels, make water, always on the same time, depending on how the sun was shining on the solar panel. So we wouldn't make water during the night. And then I would say at around 8 in the evening, would have like a close moment together where we would like motivate ourselves for the night.
That was the hardest part. The night was always super hard mentally.
Yeah.
Because it's dark. It's yeah. And that's the moment where you think about home, about your family, about everything that you miss.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Hey Belle, are you ready for your shift?
Yeah, man. I have to.
What time is it?
I'm late. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
How did you prepare, like, what was that motivation speak that you guys, or the motivational conversation you had before bed? How was that like? What did you guys?
Before bed.
Yeah, before nighttime. Sorry.
It was more about like, you know, contemplating and seeing the sun go down. And, you know, it's nothing spiritual or something, but just like, you know, we're lucky and happy to be here and just motivate ourselves to have a good night and be safe and watch out for each other, even though we wouldn't have a lot of interactions. Also say like, try to be on time, you know, when you do this, it means that your shift is over. And if he would be 2 minutes late every shift, that means that I would have probably rode like 24 hours extra, which isn't the thing we wanted to do. So it's just like making some rules and organizing some stuff, also trying to fix the last few bits just before going in dark mode. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's also important to say, maybe you could think, okay, you need to dig deep to get motivation, but in the end, it's your choice. You can see life in a positive way or a negative way. I mean, the choice is yours, and the same for getting motivation. You can find motivation in super small details. I mean, you can tell a joke, and it can make your day, you know. Or you can eat a good dish, and you can say, okay, next good dish is yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on to the little things that made you smile during the day.
Yeah.
We are at the end of day 3. I just finished my shift and Damien is taking over with his strong legs, his strong arms. Look how beautiful the sunset is. Damien, how many dolphins did you see?
There were three of them, I guess. Switching from left side until they realized there's another one.
They were making fun of you. Right, bro, wish you good luck.
Cheers.
Did you guys have like because when I crossed the Gulf sailing, I had a sentence in my mind like constantly like, this is temporary, I'm gonna get there, this is temporary.
Yeah.
Like especially during those hard nights that are always the worst. Like the hard nights are just exhausting mentally, and that sentence would kind of it would get me there. Did you guys have a similar inspiration? Oh, we're alive and kicking. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. But that's
we
also
had
important
it on both sides.
when you're in difficulties. I mean, you always set yourself a finish line, you know. The first finish line is like, okay, we start, well, in 40 days we will get at the finish, but that's not the motivation. The motivation should be not on long term, but on short term. So, and the short term, what I mean, it's not 24 hours, it's sometimes really 2 minutes. It's especially at night, it's really like, okay, if I'm super exhausted, I just want to go sleep, but yeah, now Damien deserves to sleep, so I respect his time. And then you tell yourself, okay, let's do 15 for my mother. Okay, let's do 15 for my mother. Okay, and let's do 15 for my father. And then okay, the times go by, and you put a song in your head, and you're just singing,
and the routine helps.
Before you know it, you're 2 hours later. So.
Yeah, there's apparently like psychologically a moment where when you do something of high endurance for a really long time, you can feel like someone was there with you, like guiding you, and like you saying 15 for my mom, almost like your mom was there with you rowing for 15 minutes, you know?
That's true.
Yeah. Or your Italian friend who stopped by to say hello.
Yeah. but also nature. I mean, Damien was sleeping at that moment, but I saw like humpback whale. I think it was humpback whale, but going on the surface, and it was like, I don't know, but it was really dark. But I think it was at least the side of the boat. So you see like a surface going up, and then it goes down, and then you hear, and you have like like a bad smell.
Yeah. Oh, you smelled the whale.
Yeah, and also one night, but
it was a splashing water kind of thing, or
all small dolphins, like, and it's magic. You know, 10 seconds before you feel super alone, and then 10 seconds after you feel like part of nature, and you feel super small but part of it. So
did you see birds?
It's super magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a bird following us. Yeah. I think for half the race or something. Yeah. And then at the end, when you get closer to land, you can also see birds starting to come back again.
It's strange because you attach yourself to these kind of creatures. I remember when the bird was gone, it was like, fuck, he's gone. It's like, no.
Yeah.
I want to go back.
Yeah. Where is he? Where's Birdie?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, we do. Like any bit of comfort helps go through moments that are hard. Today, as you're still explaining your life on this or this adventure, what's a story that you keep telling others? Like, what's that one anecdote that you think stays with you?
I mean, maybe just between us, it was the Christmas evening.
Yeah.
That was really nice. The ocean was almost flat.
Oof,
and Damien took some kind of foie gras toast.
It was really good.
So this is our Christmas dinner. What are you doing, Damien?
It's my father-in-law who got us foie gras and special cassoulet. Here's some fig mixture.
Confiture, yeah.
To put on the toast as well. It's like in France and Belgium, it's tradition to have this on Christmas Eve.
Awesome.
Now we'll enjoy a good toast.
To give us a mental push.
Yeah, because we need it. Cheers.
Cheers.
But there are so many moments we spent together, also quite emotional ones.
Yeah.
Like what?
So yeah, we had a friend that passed away 2 years before our crossing.
2 years.
And we had like a moment where he thought like, let's write a message down, put it in a bottle, poke some holes in it, and just drop it in the middle of the ocean. So that's something we did, for example.
Like the conserve from the
cassoulet.
From the cassoulet.
Yeah.
How you say it in English? Cassoulet.
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 Like corn, beef, beef jerky, something.
Yeah, with beans and stuff. Yeah.
So the Dexel,
the lid.
The lid, sorry, is aluminium, and the pot is in glass. So we put some holes in the lid. We wrote a letter. We put it into it, and then we just dropped it.
In the middle. Was the middle point of our crossing. Yeah.
It was exactly in the middle of the crossing. So we had the coordinates. Yeah. So for us, I don't know if you can say it spiritually, but for us it was like the most beautiful place on earth to say, okay, you're in the middle of the ocean, and here is our last message to you, and have a good rest. Yeah. That was a really nice moment.
Yeah, very special.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of beautiful sunrises, sunsets. But sunrise was also a very nice moment after a night of like coldness and sometimes rain and wind. It was just like, ooh, the sun is coming up. It was so good.
Day 12, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Just done my morning shift. Heavy night, very tired. But, it looks like it will be a very beautiful sunrise. So I'm just gonna turn the camera on.
Any thunderstorms that you went through, or just
thunderstorms? Not really, but a very windy day when we had to deploy the para anchor because the wind was coming from the north and just pushing us to the south. So instead of trying to fight it, we decided to push as long as possible. We knew that a lot of crews would stop rowing way before we did, so we continued like probably for 3 to 4 hours extra, because even standing still is better than going back. And then ultimately at some point, I think just before the night came down, we had to deploy the para anchor.
The whole fleet, Ian called us, the whole fleet is in para anchor, guys. Why are we still rowing? But so you had good moments, you had bad moments. Sometimes you had good moments for me and bad moments for you. For example, there was a night. The weather forecast was like, okay, maybe it will rain, maybe it will stay dry, okay, but let's see it. And so the written 2 hours on, 2 hours off was exactly on the written of the weather. So I was like a whole night, I was super dry. And every time we switched, it started raining. It's raining hard.
And so like within the 5 minutes of my shift.
At night, and he was like rowing with a big equipment. And then a few days later,
very unlucky.
Karma hit it very hard because I was super tired and it was starting to rain, and I told Damien, okay, what do you think? Do I need to put a big equipment or not? He said, yeah, just do it. And so by fatigue, I put it. I put in my vest, top coat, and then my bretelle undercoat. So actually, I have like the bretelle went until here. But my vest wasn't above it, but underneath it. So there was a big wave coming in, and the big wave just came into my bretelle. Everything was wet.
Big mistake.
Big mistake. I know, yeah.
Give me a towel, please. Come on, dude, give me a towel. Give me a fucking towel.
And also what we didn't tell is every week we had to dive into the water to scrape off the barnacles. Yeah.
That would freak me out. That would freak me.
always had
3
one that was
kilometers down where there's nothing.
But we were on the lifeline, and it was always one of us like checking,
Watching out.
out.
Yeah, so you scrubbed for speed.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just remove the barnacles before they start to get like
Yeah.
a little bit tenser and fixed on the boat.
It's a big difference. The water resistance,
Yeah.
really big difference.
It's immense.
Yeah, well, I had Starlink. Look, I had the lux of having Starlink.
Yeah.
But did you guys have your phones, or how did you?
So we had this in Marset. I think it's something comparable to Starlink, but just 5 years before, you know. Yeah. And you really had to orientate it to the satellite. And yeah, like this. But we also had some deals with sponsors where we had to deliver some footage and images. So yeah, we sent stuff out, but we didn't receive a lot. So no news from family and stuff. We had a lot of little cards that people left us at the start, and we decided instead of opening them up like day by day, we had this one day on per anchor that
really
we were just
a
shitty day, and we're like, okay, let's just start reading everything.
We opened everything. We cried our eyes out. That was, I think, the most toughest moment.
Yeah, it was the hardest thing. Yeah,
Day 7, 8, 9.
yeah.
More doubts, maybe.
Yeah,
You question at certain points. You question yourself. Yeah, your first question. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And then yeah. That's my advice to all the people who maybe one day will do it. You fundamentally really need to know personally what's your core motivation. And if you respect that, okay, I don't want to say it cannot go wrong, but if you have the motivation, you take it with you for the whole crossing. But
your mind is right, and
if you forget why you do it, then it's really easy to give up, I think.
Yeah.
but you cannot really give up because you cannot go against the current and the wind.
Yeah.
So once you're, it's only for really heavy medical issues that you can be rescued. But what we always said as well is the body achieves what the mind believes. It's quite standard, but it's really true. If you really put yourself into kind of a focus and a routine, you can really continue without...
It's a mindset.
Yeah.
Did you have anyone in your family or like partners that were like, please don't do this?
Our mother, I think.
Our mother wasn't super happy at the start, but then she was super enthusiastic. Our father was more emotional when we left because he knew that we would hurt ourselves. So, you can row on a boat, but you can also row on a machine, like in the fitness. Yeah. So every day he did like 30 minutes on the rowing machine just to live with us and to...
Oh.
Yeah. But
that's so sweet of him.
Yeah, it's cute, but it's typical our father. He's very... he wants to feel like what we would possibly have felt. But what I was wanting to add as well, what was the motivation was, for sure, was our own motivation. But there is also the whole project side of things. We had sponsors, investors. So all those people, you don't want to let them down. So there is also kind of a good positive pressure of support and pressure of all those people that believes in you. So it helps as well, of course.
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
I would.
I'm not sure.
But I would take more time because we were too much in an uptick of we need to race. Yeah. Whereas Bernard was like, okay, we'll take a fishing rod and, chill a bit. I was like, no, you don't take the fish.
Did you fish?
No, we didn't.
We didn't fish, but there was some flying fish falling in the boat. But
we saw super big fishes. It was a tuna. I'm sure it was a tuna.
Yeah, but we couldn't have eaten just the two of us. So, I mean, if we do it again, it's
He's
just
like, I'm not sure, brother. I think I could have eaten that tuna.
But yeah, it's...
enough, yes.
Yeah.
Hello everybody! So, last night Damien found a dead flying fish on deck. Instead of throwing it back into the water, we decided to eat it. So here he is. It's quite a big one. So we are very excited because it's like 25 days ago we ate some fresh food. So he is about 22 centimeters. Okay. Cheers to the fresh food in the world.
It's strange because it seems very challenging, and it's true. But you have quite some comfort on board. But on the other hand, you don't see but you don't see any other person. So it's not like going into space or something like that. But you know, the thing with adventure is it's nice to be on dry land, to see forests, to see a river, to jump into the water, to make a firewood and stuff like that. You know, and all those adventure items we didn't have on board. It's just, you know, you row, you eat, you sleep, and you repeat it.
Yeah.
If you were to do it again, what would you do differently?
Fishing rods.
Yeah. Would not try to race probably, and enjoy it maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because a lot of discussions on board were about the fact that we need to be more efficient and quicker. And
were there like some you can prepare so much in advance, like you said, but when you're sur le terrain, when you're doing it, it's going to be completely different. Was there anything like that you did not expect that you would experience, or you didn't anticipate?
For me personally,
the sleep deprivation.
Yes, but also the power of the nature.
Yeah.
The nature is it's super. It's crazy how I globalize. We don't respect enough nature. I mean, we saw plastic floating. We saw a lot of things just floating on the ocean, and with that, what we saw was like a line from La Gomera to Antigua, and we saw 30 meters left, 30 meters right, and the amount of plastic we only saw on that kind of surface, it's huge. And I'm even not talking about the plastic soup.
It's really like bottles, like pieces of foam from washing machines, like big chunks of waste. Sandals.
Then you have also these fishing nets that are like floating, and every kind of dirt is just sticking on it. So you have like islands of plastic drifting on the water. Like islands of, I don't know, a few square meters just floating.
Last thing I was thinking, the moment that you guys were in the plane, like flying back and seeing everything you rode, how was that?
That's a super good question, because why wouldn't we took the plane to go to Antigua? That was no.
Yeah, why did we take a plane?
I remember just we were talking on the plane. It was like, how crazy is it? We did almost 40 days to go there, and the flight back was, I think,
6 hours.
6 hours,
7 hours, something like that, to London.
Yeah, but our real culture shock, let's say, was when we arrived at London Heathrow, and from there on we went to Brussels Zaventem. It's the first time we saw so many people. It was like everybody was a big rush. We just followed the flow, and there were like arrows on the ground. We were like, oh my God, what is this? Like, we were 40 days, we didn't see any arrow. It was like, okay, we can go there or there or there. You're also on survival mode for almost 40 days. So I remember we arrived at 5:30 in the morning. We had our hamburger and fries, and then a few hours later, there was like a girl on the island doing her morning jogging run, super chill. But we were like, oh my God, someone is running. I mean, it's like, wow, the first thing you think is, okay, she must be pursued by, a dog,
She's
or
safe.
a dog or a monster or someone.
That's like the primal instinct comes back.
It's so strange.
Random. Like, but why would someone run for fun?
And we didn't choose that reaction. It was really like, okay, what's going on? We have to save her. She was like just running with her ears on.
You were completely taken away from all the societal norms. Like you were back to like primal instincts of survival.
Also, decision making wise, I remember the first night, my ex-girlfriend, she asked like, what should I wear, this outfit or this outfit?
2 dresses.
Two different dresses. I was like,
I don't give a shit.
I was like blocking completely, like, what is she asking? Will she survive with this or this? Or what's the hottest? What is waterproof? No, I'm exaggerating. No, it wasn't such extreme, but I mean, it's just the point of, we are sometimes like forcing us to have to make decisions for things that are not important at all.
Overthinking.
Yeah. Yeah, completely.
So you guys are selling boat?
Yeah, we're not just selling it, just trying to find cool people that want to be maybe inspired and coached a little bit as well. So the boat doesn't, it's not just for sale on its own. It's like with advice and tips and tricks. So and we can ship it to America.
Oh, good to know.
No, it's already closer to the start in La Gomera, so that's a good point.
If you're in America and you're looking for a rowing boat, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for talking. Do you guys want to say anything, like some last words of wisdom or anything else?
Do you guys want to row?
No.
One more thing we want to say.
Okay.
Everyone has this ocean to cross. Just own your future and be at your best. He works for G&G and he had to, we did a presentation and that was a quote we had to incorporate in the piece. It's American.
Everyone has their own Mount Everest to climb. Here, you can snack on this tonight.
Thank you.
For some little
No, thanks.
apéro snacks. I wanted to try 5 years old. Ok, je vais faire du parkour. Non, ça va, ça va. Ah oui.
Chacun est Durme.
Moi, j'ai tout petit.
C'est ça?
Je sais pas ce que je dois faire. Un peu sérieuse.
First interview. Reward, frites mayo. Nothing better. Frites mayo. Frites mayo. Frites mayo. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. I hope you like this format because there's more stuff coming. I'm gonna talk to a lot of different people who've done amazing things. And yeah, so stick around, subscribe, like. You'll stay in the loop. Bye.